What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Super Otaku Show that happens to be on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. As always, I am joined by the shooting star sheriff himself. Sharif, how you doing?
You already know the vibes. I found Sonic G Fuel today. Sonic branded G Fuel. It's peach rings. It's good. But, you know, we still here talking about anime. I'm good.
My Roman half, Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm not vibing as hard as Sharif. I need some of that Sonic G Fuel.
And for the first time ever on the show, and our first ever guest here on the Super Otaku Show, TaylorMadeOtaku. How are you doing, Taylor?
I'm good, baby. We talking about Waifus today. I'm good. Let's go.
Oh no, we've got people already jumping in chat because they saw the title and they know what's happening. We'll get to that in a little bit. So as always, guys, we're going to start off by saying, what has everybody been watching this week? Who wants to start up? Tell us what they've been checking out over the course of the last week or so in anime world.
I'll go first because mine is not anime so much as it is clips from anime shows of people reacting to anime shows. I've just been watching like reaction mashup videos for no reason other than they make me excited for the thing I already watched. Like I watched the like a reaction mashup to Tanjiro versus Rui in the show Demon Slayer. Dude, that episode's hype, but like watching 20 or so people freak out all at the same time, it gets you even more hype. Let me tell you. So that's what I've been watching. I have not watched any anime. As per usual, I am failing my my anime homework, and I am not watching. I'm watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's what I went back to watching.
Okay.
I'm going to get Rick to draw us a shame emote to spam in chat every week, and Aaron.
Oh, just make it a bell. Just like a bell. Shame.
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 Oh, man. Sharif or Taylor, what have you guys been watching?
You or me, cuz.
I'm gonna let you.
Okay.
Okay.
So, actually, surprisingly, I was actually sleeping on season 5 of My Hero Academia just because I wanted to watch all the stuff that we were watching. So I actually followed suit and went back and I watched the first few episodes of the new season of My Hero Academia. And I am enjoying that. I know it's super mainstream, but I still love My Hero Academia to bits. And I'm currently reading the manga too, but that's neither here nor there. So that's pretty much all I've done this week, really. But still keeping up with everything else we've been watching. So good stuff here.
Nice. How about you, Taylor? Anything cool?
I've been jamming with Shaman King. Like the new remake of Shaman King. It's touched me. It's touched me right here in my heart. I love it so much. I love it so much.
I am.
Do I name everything?
Whatever you want, man. Like whatever, like you've been like really into the past week or so.
Let's see. There's Shaman King, My Hero. There's a show called 86. It's actually pretty fire.
I don't.
Joran. I like Joran. 86 is pretty lit. At least I think.
We gotta put that on our list then. What did you think of Joran? Like, we've talked about that in our spring review.
Yeah, I like Joran a lot. I really like that show a lot. I think it's really cool, me personally.
Yeah, for me that was one that was falling off early, but I think it might also be a show that needs its full like season to really flesh out what it's doing. I think it might need more material than just the intro. Like it's a bigger show. Like I feel like it might have fit better on like a Netflix binge style watch.
I was about to say, I think Scott's been spoiled by Netflix. Netflix has ruined all of our viewing habits of media. It's destroyed us. We can no longer watch a show week by week.
Oh man, I like struggled bust like with the Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff. Like I had to wait until there were like 3 episodes because I could watch them all together.
Oh my god. Yeah, once you get back into the week by week format, you're like, The audacity to make me wait a week.
A week.
How dare
7
you?
whole days. 7 whole days.
Oh man.
Boy. I've also watched The Way of the House Husband for like the 8th time.
Yeah. I know we're talking about waifus, but like, let's be honest. The main character of Way the House Button is the ultimate husbando.
Hey, that's my boy. Miku is lit too. I love Miku. Miku is amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited that they got a second season. I do hope that if they get they're getting the second half of the first season, but I really hope that if they get a full like second season order, they do a little more animation, because I think they could do so much with a gag, like a fully animated gag manga is like could be really great if they put a lot into it. I think it's very funny now, but
it would be weird to break their style. However, I could see it working really well for like a just for like a single episode where the animation is like off the charts good. I think that would work as a joke towards the rest of the episode. Like, you're just watching like regular Way of the House Husband, all of a sudden it turns into like Trigger Studio style like animation off the walls. I think that'd be kind of funny.
That would be awesome. I mean, I get the whole animation thing. I'm just loving it as is. I'm just happy that it's airing right now instead of just like being in limbo, like Game Like Life Season 2. It's never coming.
No.
I mean, you never say never. Like,
never say never.
The Devil is a part-timer. Just got greenlit for Season 2, and that took a decade.
Overlord just got hit with a season. What is it?
Season 4 just got ordered from
like
Madhouse or Mappa.
Like DBZ is still getting movies. Like,
yeah, well, like, let's move straight in the news, because that's our first thing on the news section, is that after a whole bunch of leaks hit the internet this week, Dragon Ball Super, the movie was confirmed before from the Blu-ray release of Broly, but it is now confirmed to be a 2022 release. So I'm really excited. What do you guys think the movie is going to be? Do you think it's going to be wholly original content? Do you think they're going to do like Moro? What are you guys thinking?
Honestly, I feel like they might keep Moro as is for when the anime returns, but it would actually be kind of cool, because what the trend now with anime movies, because they even did it with Broly, is that they want to keep the movies canon. Mm-hmm. So I think they're gonna do, maybe it's gonna be like another side arc like Broly, where it's something that happens maybe in between, like an arc or two or something like that. I don't know. I don't know who they are going to bring back. I don't know if it's going to be like a Broly's coming back, or they're going to bring back another like movie villain. But I hope it's another movie villain, because they rewrote Broly pretty well. So I want to see if they bring back like any other villains. But I think it's going to be like a side thing. I think it'll be a side thing, honestly.
Man, could you imagine Janemba with the modern art style?
Oh god, yeah, Janemba would look great. He would look great.
Because like Broly, Janemba's another kind of like non-character, right? There's not a lot of substance in their personality. It's just a even less interesting Boo. But the way that Janemba fights, and like the animation with the like pastel colors and the bubbles and like the Lego teleportation, was crazy looking.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see. Like with like now animated, yeah, Janemba would be really dope.
I gotta imagine that the success of the Demon Slayer movie is gonna kind of control the way anime movies are made moving forward. Like, that movie was so successful, like beyond the scope of anything any other anime movie has achieved thus far, that to ignore what they did would be like suicide for a production company. You know, they're looking at that movie and going, okay, so we have to do something like this, where we make it a part of whatever the manga is. Like, we make an arc of the manga into a full-fledged movie, and like pour a ton of money and resources into it to make it look as cool and polished as possible. Like, I'm sure other anime movies will still exist where they do like the unrelated to canon side stories, like they do with My Hero. Like, there's another My Hero movie coming out. Mm-hmm. In like a special forces team. So I don't know. Like, I guess maybe moving forward, I think that there's going to be kind of a shift in how those movies are produced and like the way they think about making those films.
I agree.
If they want to stay competitive anyways, which I imagine as a business, most of those studios do want to like rake in as much money as possible.
True.
I did want to read just the one quick thing from Toriyama that he put out himself is that it's an all-new movie since Dragon Ball Super Broly is currently in the making. Just like the previous movie, I'm heavily leading the story and dialogue production for another amazing film. Really shouldn't talk much about the plot yet, but be prepared for some extreme and entertaining bouts, which may feature an unexpected character. I have no idea what that could be. That could be literally...
It could be anybody. It could be anybody.
What it's going to be... What it's going to be, guys, is it's going to be the Dragon Ball characters interacting with the real world. Like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of movie. Like, highly experimental. Like, think about it. Like, when Goku, like, punches into the Earth, it's going to be like the actual Earth, and they're going to have to, like, detonate a whole section of the Earth.
I played Jump Force. It didn't do a good job. We're not doing that no more.
We're not doing that.
The quote just finishes by saying, we'll be charting through some unexplored territory in terms of the visual aesthetics to give the audience an amazing ride, so I hope everybody will look forward to the new movie, and I'm assuming that means they're going to continue exploring that weird alternate, like, crazy sequence with the Gogeta Broly fight where they, like, broke through a dimensional barrier and things got weird in Technicolor. I'm wondering if it means we're going to get more stuff like that going into the next one.
So my own, as much as I did like the Broly movie, like it's always the CG stuff is always like a little jarring. Like they used it sparingly in Broly, like, but still, it's like when you see it, it's like. But the stuff that was like animated, like hand drawn, was amazing. Like it was beautiful.
I think one of my favorite moments is when they suddenly swap to the first person POV. Of like Broly like flying through everything and fighting. I was like, that's crazy looking. That was a very cool shot.
Yeah, that's cool.
You tracked
that was cool.
I was into that. So our next piece of news is I have to open my phone again because I keep closing it like a silly man. Pokemon Masters Journey is coming to Netflix. We got an official confirmation that season 24 is going to be another Netflix show, which I'm excited because I really liked Journeys. I don't know if you guys did. Any of you watch any of the Journeys or watch the Pokemon anime anytime?
I didn't get to see it.
I'm actually currently watching Journeys, so I'm hyped. I'm watching Journeys.
It's a cool like refresh because I didn't love Sun and Moon. I didn't like the like changing to a school arc setting where it was just they were like in school and occasionally Ash would go do things tangentially related to the trials. That wasn't my jam.
The pacing in Sun and Moon was definitely weird.
Yeah. And then in season 2 they become Super Sentai.
Yeah, exactly. But Journeys is actually really Journeys is pretty cool because it's like one overarching goal that Ash is just currently doing. So like they still do have like their one-off episodes, but it always feels like they're like, especially with Go in the mix with catching every Pokemon, it always feels like they're always slowly accomplishing something. So I feel like it works for what it is.
It's an interesting like dichotomy between the two like A plots, right? It's Ash trying to get into the like number 1 in the cup and fight against Leon, and then it's Go trying to catch every Pokemon, which is plenty of fodder to set up cool battles and cool Pokemon finding adventures, which is I think that a lot of the most fun aspects of the show is seeing Pokemon doing stuff, and then of course the cooler fight scenes as the shows have gotten better and better animated. So I like Journeys a lot so far because I think it has a lot of potential and they can go to every region whenever they want to because they have modern day transportation. It's a thing.
They got like they just like hop on planes and they're just like, hey, we out.
Yep.
They just like hop on planes.
Like they literally wake up sometimes to like, we're going to Kanto today, and then like tomorrow we're going to Kalos. Okay, sure.
All right, cool beans.
What is this moneyless future where you can just hop on any plane for like for your Pokemon trainer with your Pokemon trainer salary, which is basically non-existent?
If you just
Is
say you're a Pokemon
Pokemon-
trainer,
Does Pokemon take place in like some sort of like moneyless, classless utopia?
no, there's money, but you get it by just beating up little kids and taking their money in Pokemon battles.
Yeah, that's true. The true utopia is where you just steal you just walk around attacking children and stealing their like wads of cash.
You find somebody well dressed, and you know immediately that they either have a fairy type or a normal type Pokemon, and you just bring their weakness and kick the crap out of them, and you're fine.
I like the idea that I like to think that they're all like trust fund children who like got into Pokemon training because their parents like died and left them like a gigantic fortune. And so like you're basically walking around and stealing from the rich, and that's what it's all about.
Pokemon is really a Robin Hood story.
Yes, it is. Listen, they picked the fight with you. You trying to just walk down a path.
Okay, this is slightly sidetracked. Does anybody else, when they play Pokemon, do their best to try and talk to the trainer before they see you? Because I do, so I feel like I'm fighting them.
Yeah, no. Like,
Yeah.
after a while, you try to figure out you're trying to handle this diplomatically at the very least, and they're just not having it.
It's like, hey, you want to walk up to him and just be like, hey, I'm the main character.
Yeah. Like, listen, I know that like this might blow your mind, but you are a non-playable character in this universe, and I am the protagonist. I know that like everybody thinks they're the protagonist. I'm literally the protagonist, and you might like die.
Yes, whisper in their ear, you're nothing.
That's me every time I play a Nuzlocke, and they're like, they start the battle while I talk about their Pokemon, and I'm like, they don't exist anymore.
Oh, you know, it would be now I want a Pokemon series that focuses on like one of the non-playable characters after he gets like annihilated after picking a fight and like keeps getting
Youngster
annihilated.
Joey, the animated sagas. I need it.
And he experiences like true ego death, and like it becomes like this
the
philosophical
journey of
nightmare.
the greatest Rattata that ever was. One boy, his shorts, and his Rattata. That's all you need.
Bruh.
He's like he would basically just be like if Genos in One Punch Man was the main character, because like he never wins a fight.
Bro.
Whoa.
No matter how hard he tries.
You call it the Genos, man.
Caleb in the chat gets me. They also talk to the trainer first because you're the one starting this fight. Let's go. Throwing down the gauntlet, man. All right. So next up, this is another new season. I haven't watched the series, though. I've heard a lot of good things. Maybe one of you guys have watched it. Is Made in Abyss Season 2 is confirmed. But the cool thing, and what intrigues me and makes me want to watch the show finally, is that it's also getting an RPG by Spike Chunsoft, an ARPG.
Oh. Well then I might have to check that out then.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool because I don't know a ton about Made in Abyss. I know that it's beautiful aesthetically, but it's very dark tonally. And the fact that it's apparently getting a JRPG, like an ARPG, kind of excites me because I love when I can play my animes because I'm that kind of weeb.
True. That's all I do on my channel.
Yeah, though I haven't gotten Fairy Tail yet because I watched a bunch of reviews and everybody was like, it's a game. And it hurt me on the inside.
Yeah, Fairy Tail the game.
If anything, it's better than like video games based off of American television properties. Like,
I don't know. Taylor, you look like you got something to say about this Fairy Tail business.
Well,
oh,
he
you look
likes
like you were
Fairy
just
Tail.
straight up in disbelief down there. Anyway.
I like how he doesn't have to say anything on this podcast. He points to an anime character in the background from whatever show we're discussing.
That's the goal, is to get the room decorated to such a point where you don't have to reference anything anymore. You just point. You gotta memorize your background though.
Yes.
Anyway,
These are my references.
Does anybody else have any cool anime news to bring to the table, or have we kind of covered all the big things? I was slacking this week, I'll be honest. I like spent yesterday trolling through all the anime news sites, being like, the hell did I miss this week? What's going on?
I have one crucial piece of news that Cuz already knows about.
Oh God!
Should I be concerned?
Oh God!
Should I go to
Don't
commercial
say
break?
Don't say it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Damn. My bone daddy is coming back. There's a season 4 that just got confirmed of my favorite isekai, Overlord. Not only it's getting a season 4, but it's also getting a feature full-length movie.
Oh my God.
Madhouse has done all the seasons. Madhouse is getting season 4. I love Overlord. I'm glad it's coming back.
I stopped like right at the beginning of season 2 because I was like, I am gonna be real salty if he has problems with these lizard folk because I think they're dope, and I stopped. I was like, I can't see this. If he kills the lizard boyos, I'm gonna be real mad.
Yeah, so I'm which is cool because not the season is still gonna pick up from where it originally left off. But the movie is also going to is going to do the Holy Kingdom arc. So the movie will be canon to continue the Overlord story. So just kind of like a Demon Slayer effect here, that we are starting to see with these movies going forward.
Yeah, man.
So it's becoming a thing very quickly.
I mean, if it keeps working, like the Broly was the top box office like anime movie like for like an anime tie-in movie in the States ever, and now Demon Slayer blew past that a good bit, and they're like, hey,
yeah. I was gonna say Demon Slayer has its own kind of interesting perspective because unlike the Broly movie, Demon Slayer got an R rating for the U.S., which makes it the highest grossing rated R animated film, not anime film, animated film.
That's crazy.
Of all time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys remember who held the title before that? You're gonna be upset.
Sausage Party.
It was Sausage Party. Nice. That somehow held the title for best rated R or highest grossing rated R animated film in the U.S. And then Demon Slayer absolutely murdered it. And it deserved it because Sausage Party is a terrible film and it treated its creators terribly. It deserved it. I'm just saying. My beef with Sausage Party isn't the movie itself, but how it was made. The animators were.
Aaron didn't like how the sausage was made in Sausage Party. All right, he was not down with this. It was not kosher.
Yeah.
The only thing that just sticks in my mind is like the orgy at the end.
God. I'm still laughing because Aaron said my beef with Sausage Party. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Unintentional pun. My beef with Sausage Party is that it's pork.
Oh man, Sausage Party, the anime brought to you by Roman Bear Productions, coming 2020.
No. I refuse.
All right, I think we've had enough news. It's become a dangerous ground. We're gonna move into our topic of the show, and since Taylor is here as our guest this week, we figured we would ask him what he wanted to talk about. So Taylor, even though they can see it real big in the middle of the screen, what are we talking about this week?
Waifus.
All right, so this week we're going to be discussing waifus and waifu culture. Now, what's funny for me is that waifus are like a weird aspect of the fandom that I'm not super involved with, because I'm one of those people who thinks whoever the best girl is the person who's currently got an arc right now, because I'm a very simple and dumb man. But, okay, so what about... First though, I don't even know where to start. Do we want to talk favorite waifus? Do we want to talk about where should we start? Anybody got an idea?
I think we should. I feel like we should start right at the beginning. What's a waifu? Let's go right from the start.
There we go.
I think we can see them behind Taylor right now. They're all right there.
I feel like Taylor should explain what a waifu is. Like,
All right, Taylor. I need a textbook definition of waifu.
Siri, define waifu.
That's what you want
define
to do?
waifu.
I got you. Hey, Google. What's a waifu?
On the website dictionary.com, they say, waifu is a term for a fictional character, usually in anime or related media, that someone has great, and sometimes romantic, affection for. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home.
Shut up.
Romantic with a very large wink after that.
There you go.
So-
Right at the beginning.
That's what a waifu is.
That's what a waifu is. I feel like we have all have experienced some form of love for a waifu at some point. I used to be really in love with Misty from Pokemon from back in the day. All right, so like, I feel like no one can escape this.
I mean, I was a Jessie kind of kid. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, for like on Team Rocket, you mean?
I mean, James was bad though.
Oh, yeah. when you first learned that you were bisexual, you're like, wait, do I like Jesse and James?
I mean, that's the duo to be with then. No, I 100% blame Misty from Pokemon for why I love like tomboys and like tough girls like that. It's like they make me swoon. It's because childhood programmed me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did have a screensaver of Hinata for some of my time in Full Sail. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Ignore me.
You just got on Taylor's good side.
All right, so no, you go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say I don't even really know where the affection came from. I think it's just because like I felt bad for her. Like she was bad, she was cool. Like she actually like puts up a good fight. She like tries her hardest, and she's like, unlike some of the other characters, she's not a complete prick.
She's not a complete prick.
I liked Tamari.
Who is Tamari?
Tamari's Gaara's sister. Yeah, with the fan.
Oh, yeah. No, let's be honest.
Her and Tenten, but a lot of that love was because it's how I cheated in Ultimate Ninja.
Okay, Naruto made like all its female characters kind of sexy, but like that's.
Oh no! This is completely utilitarian love. They can cheat and kill you from across the map.
Love. You're just like you're like gross eugenics where you're like, which one of you is the strongest? You will be who I breed with.
Which one of you can keep me from ever needing to actually learn the mechanics of this video game?
Got you.
It's got to be that girl in Tekken who does the windmill kicks. Wow, fuck, I'm forgetting her name. You know who I'm talking about? Who does the what's the dance fighting called?
I think it's Julia does the capoeira like for the female.
Capoeira. Yeah, no, you just butt mash with her and you can destroy people. It's great.
Oh man. No, I'm curious. So does everybody remember their kind of like first waifu in quotes? Is it like going back to Pokemon, or does anybody like have a before times?
I want to say Pokemon, but it's because it's the only thing I can like recall at the moment.
Oh, Taylor, take it away for us. What you got?
Oh boy.
Sorry, I get really happy talking about waifu. My first ever waifu was Ryoko from the Tenchi Muyo series.
That's another reason why I like any girl that can kick my ass. Ryoko is.
I don't know what it was about her, but I remember like little wee lad Taylor just sitting there, just going like this. And then, like my aunt who was watching me after school, she was like, "What you smiling at?" I was like, "She's so cool."
Well, it's funny we were talking about this because like Scott and I on our other podcasts had a whole episode where we were talking about like sexy cartoon characters, but we were talking more in the scope of like the first like cartoon characters that made us feel like attraction, because obviously this isn't just allocated to anime. It's just that in anime subculture it has like a specific kind of name and like identity to it.
Yeah, the first time you were watching a cartoon character, you kind of wish nobody else was in the room. You were like, this feels weird.
Yeah, like why is Nala staring at me like that? Stop it.
So why is no? Okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Not gonna lie here. We're if we're being 100% transparent, everybody here either had a crush on Nala from Lion King or Lola Bunny from Space Jam. I don't want to hear it because I was both of those people.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think like every young man at that time had like that sort of like weird reaction to that movie where like the movie is unabashedly trying to make you feel that way in almost kind of a gross way where it's like the cartoonist is like, God, I'm gonna give so many kids boners with this character. they're not gonna know what hit them. Even women are gonna question their sexuality. I'm gonna just draw the most ridiculous sexual character.
Why that money so bad?
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They like knew what they were doing. They're like, this character is going to be the pinnacle of sexuality for an entire generation.
Jessica Rabbit be damned. Lola Bunny.
Jessica Rabbit was the generation just before ours. Like that's like Gen X is like is her, and then we got Lola Bunny. Rabbit must be a coincidence.
I'm old enough. So, Jessica Rabbit was something else.
Let's not even go there with Jessica Rabbit. Let's not even go there.
I bring it up because I think it's like very closely related to the idea of waifu, where it's like an attraction to a fictionalized character, and it's and like it goes a little deeper, and it'll definitely be something we talk about a little later. But like when you guys said, when Sharif was like, "Oh, Aaron, start your research," I was like, "You think I fucking won't? You think I fucking won't?"
I knew you were.
I dived into like 5 research papers specifically about different types of things, because one of the most interesting aspects to me about like waifu culture, because like waifu is kind of a new thing, right? Like the term waifu came from like a meme, I'm pretty sure. Like, this is my waifu, because like it's like a Japanese way of saying wife, but that's not like actual Japanese word for wife. I think it was like a meme. I thought it was a joke. No, it's not. It's not.
Husbando isn't Japanese for husband? It's not way of the household husbando?
Husbando?
Husbando.
What a weird word is. Husbando is like the weirdest word. It sounds like strangely Spanish. Like that's but like
Husbando.
Yeah, but like waifu itself is kind of like a meme that's born out of otaku culture, because like otaku culture itself, like when somebody refers to somebody as an otaku, usually they're referring to the type of individual that would supposedly have a waifu. Like at first it was a derogatory term meant for people who like fantasized about themselves with fictionalized characters because they were sad people who couldn't interact with real people. But I feel like we've broken, I think it's kind of like the otaku culture became kind of counterculture, because what happened was they basically broke the mold of like hegemonic like cultural norms of Japan, where it's like you get older, you get a job, you work, you get a wife, and that's it. Like that's the world. Like if you don't have a wife, you're not a real man. And that's what otaku meant. It was like you're not a man. In fact, some would go as far to be like you're a woman. And so I don't know. It's really interesting, and like a lot of the waifu discourse comes as a kind of it's just back end otaku stuff. This is what otaku culture has always been. It's always been about fantasizing about cartoon women. That's what otaku culture was.
That's the title of the show is. It's the Super Waifu show.
And yes, like waifu is not like waifu culture is not a new thing. Like we call it something different because otaku has kind of just become like a normal term. Like if I'm calling myself an otaku and I'm just like a passive enjoyer of anime, that's not what the word means, but that's what it's become. It's like the word fan. Yeah. Where like back when the word fan came into the cultural lexicon, it was meant to describe people who were fucking fanatics.
Yeah.
It's where the word comes from.
Yeah.
And that's the same with otaku, where otaku kind of evolved from that to just this like, if you're a passive enjoyer of anime, you can call yourself an otaku, whatever. So now we have to have new like terms for those people that go the extra step and like really dive into the otaku culture, which is like buying my full anime girl body pillow. Yeah, pull up the body pillow.
He actually
Super Otaku Show. SOS body pillows coming out 2020 as well.
Yeah,
She would come up.
are we gonna get all three of us? Are we gonna get all three of us printed on a like? How are we doing this?
Yeah, it's gonna be all three of us, and then the bear is gonna get one too.
Before anybody judges me about this waifu pillow, I want you to know I didn't buy this. This was a sponsorship. Because I got an email saying, "Hey, you like otaku stuff. We see you're on YouTube. You have a decent enough following. We'll send you a waifu pillow if you review it, and you don't have to pay anything." So
That
I
is
said,
amazing.
"Bet." And then they said, "Okay, pick your waifu." And there's only one waifu. So when I finally got it, it was just like the sleeve.
Oh no!
And I was like, "Where's the pillow?" And they're just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna send you a pillow." So I'm like, "Do I have to go out and actually buy a pillow?" And they're just like, "Yeah, you gotta go buy a pillow." So I'm
And you
thinking,
have to-
okay, like maybe if I buy it from like their website, the body pillow itself, like the actual pillow, is like $100 plus bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like
So you're
That
just
seems
reviewing the
okay.
sleeve then? You're just reviewing the cover?
Basically, but no, it had to be in a pillow, is what they said.
Yeah.
But they didn't send me a pillow.
you should have reviewed it. You should have reviewed just the sleeve. You're like,
So-
I don't feel like she's a real waifu. I can't get my arms around her. You know,
Oh.
she's skinny.
Oh, no, I can't do Hinata like that. So I was like,
Hinata-
fine, I'll buy the pillow. But I will, and they've hit me up two more times with the same thing. So it's like, yo, if you're not gonna send me the pillow, just don't send me anything.
Yeah. It's an all or nothing deal. I can't review the
Listen,
product if I
funny.
don't have it.
You said
It's
Hinata's
funny.
supposed to be thick. I need pillow.
I need pillow.
She is a little plump. She thick. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, since Hinata seems, is she your number one like waifu out of the list? Is she best girl? I'm assuming yes. For you, Taylor.
He's got this on lock.
So-
He's got this on lock.
I guess what I want to know is like why Hinata? Like what made her number one, right? Like what draws you?
Oh, you
in?
want that story?
Yeah, I want that.
Said-
Stuff. I need to know.
It's what broke you.
What broke you?
What was the breaking
Is
point?
it that she settled for Naruto? Is that like what? Is that like the moment?
What?
Oh.
Going out? What'd you say?
Oh, I said it was the settling for Naruto. Did that like kill you inside?
Oh, absolutely not. Okay. Funny story. Because I love telling the story. Because I like talking about Hinata. Like the first time I saw Hinata like in Naruto, I was like, my first thought was, you look weird as shit. That was my first thought.
Was this in
I
the
love
anime
all-
too?
all
Because she
those
is. She is
blossoms.
just creeping in the background, man.
Like, my first thought was like, what's wrong with your eyes? Like what's going on right now?
What's wrong with you?
And then okay, I watched the dub of it because that was back when it was like airing on like TV.
Mhm.
This was back in the day where we had dial-up, so you couldn't like just get on the internet and just look up something.
No, man, you
Yeah,
had to
I'm
wait
old
for
as hell.
Toonami on Saturday at 9.
Yeah, Toonami, and what was the other one? Megumi or something like that.
Yeah.
Something. And
Oh boy.
the first time she opened her mouth, I was like, I like your voice. Your voice is cute. But that was like the end of her for like what 20 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically until
like
the exam.
She popped back up in the exam, and she was like, "Yo, Naruto, cheat off my paper. It's cool." And I was like, "Hey, Naruto, you trying real hard right now." But it was more of like, okay, I like her. She be vibing with Naruto. Everybody else just keep giving this man shit, and she over here trying to make his life easier. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And then it was the her fight versus Neji in the tuning exams, where you get like her little backstory, and I was like, damn, Hinata, baby girl, you've been going through it. And then Neji did what Neji did. I still hate Neji to this day for that moment. Like the hatred was deep at that moment.
He showed
I
up.
didn't know how much I actually liked Hinata until she was laying on the floor. like it was weird. Like
He's showing up at Neji's grave, like "fuck you, bro. I'll never forgive you."
Jesus.
I mean, he grew, right? Like Neji grew as like a person later on in the story. He's he did what he did, and it's all cool. But if I ever saw him, he getting one in the jaw. But it's just one.
And you're getting you get one hit in the jaw, and he comes back with 16 pounds.
It's like I'll take it. Like I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll be like, this one's fucking nothing.
Be like, I'm a different person.
But what like really solidified her is like, yo, this was my girl right here. Was when like right before like Naruto was supposed to fight Neji in like the second round, and Naruto is just like, damn man, I don't know if I can actually beat Neji. And she gave him that pep talk, and I was like, she a real one. She actually down for you. Bro, day one, right there. I love her. I love her so much. And it's been like uphill ever since. And then he told me what pain does, and I ain't watched the show since.
That is kind of what happened.
I was gonna say, I almost forgot about the fact that Pain just straight up murders her.
Just straight up just murks her. She had no chance, but she was there for Naruto. When Sakura's don't start on Sakura. Don't start on Sakura. But she was there. She was there for her man. She protected him. She did what she had to do. And legit, he told me that she dies. I said, I'm done watching this show. I don't care. I'm not because I didn't even watched no more episodes. I was like, I just got past the point where they fought where they brought Gaara back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was on. He called me and said, "Yo, she died," and that's where the whole thing for Naruto just that's where the whole thing stopped.
Naruto ends right there for you, and you assume it's a happy story.
And then he was like, "Bro, it's cool. She comes back." I'm like, "I don't care. I'm not sitting through that." The only other time that I have actually went out of my way to watch Naruto. Well, actually, it was 2 times. Is he'll vouch for me here. Cause will vouch for me here. He called me one day and he said, "Hey, have you seen that movie, the Naruto movie?" It's like, I'm not watching Naruto. And he's like, "But it's a Naruhito movie." I said,
"That's what I was about to ask. Have you seen the last spot? The whole movie is literally just about Naruto asking Hinata out. They made a whole movie for it."
Bro, I was like in the middle of like cooking.
Why would they
like,
make
dinner.
a whole movie? like
I was in the middle of cooking dinner. He told me I turned off the stove. I walked into my room, sat down, and I watched the entire movie.
I mean, like, I'd definitely recommend the like the last episode of Shippuden, which is it's an extra. It's not from the manga. They made a whole episode where they're much older. Naruto's getting married to Hinata, and that's the focus of the episode.
I've seen scenes. I watch scenes. I don't watch episodes.
Searching Hinata scenes. He's
But
pirating Hinata
like-
scenes only.
Yeah.
But like, but the reason like she's like all in all like number one is because of just her overall like personality, her like beliefs, and how she didn't fall in love with somebody because they were like attractive or because like they're super strong or whatever. She fell in love with Naruto because she saw how hard Naruto was working to achieve his dream, and he inspired her to work hard to to take on the medal, to take the burden on that she was supposed to take on. So I was like, that's actually like a legit reason to actually like somebody. And some people come up to me and they say, she's not a very well written character because everything she does is basically like Naruto driven. He has something to do with it. I just go, bro, I don't care. I don't care. A woman like this needs to be loved and protected. And to this day, I love Hinata.
Yeah, I do. I think I know because I think we kind of I definitely went hard. I think on people a few weeks ago on when we were talking about like rivals, and the one thing I do always try and remember is that to some extent these characters are supposed to be written within younger age demographics, and I'm sure we can all remember being younger, and like when you like someone genuinely, they can become an incredibly like motivating factor and like overly central pillar to life because you have nothing else. You have the people you like, your friends in school. That's it. That's everything you do. So they can really become like an all-encompassing thing. I mean, I got into like so much weird shit because of like girls I dated in high school. I mean, like that's how I ended up into like shoujo so hard and like growing up is because of stuff like that. So I can understand Hinata from that aspect. Naruto becoming such a driving force between a lot of what she did, but she also did it because she had to. She was going to be head of the household somehow.
Yeah, she was gonna be head of that household when she out there. She throwing hands, she kicked my ass. Girl, I love you.
Yeah.
I guess I'm curious now. Like, we kind of veered in directions because that's what we do here. But does anybody else have like that like first does anybody have like a great like first waifu that you were like, oh man, like I genuinely would like this person if they were like a real person? Like this is like I like a lot of these traits like genuinely like, maybe as you got older.
No, I have one.
So we got Taylor's answer already.
So my answer is probably like it's funny because I didn't like her at first, but I liked her a lot later. Was Bulma from Dragon Ball, actually. She was like the first character I was I was like really into Bulma in the beginning. And it wasn't like in Dragon Ball where like Dragon Ball is a little bit more perverse than Z, but I liked her in Z. And I even like her a lot still in Super.
Dude, in Super, she straight up mouths off to Beerus, like, no fucks given.
Yeah.
She's like, if you say another word to me, no pudding. Like, you choose. You can erase me, but then no pudding for you ever again. What up?
No, but like, she's headstrong. I mean, she's a genius. She's an inventor. So she's kind of creative, but like. She's a support, like she's always been like that support role for like everybody else. Like she builds the time machine that Trunks ends up using to like travel back and forth. Like, and it's one of those things like I've always I feel like and like that's the thing about waifus, right? Like you project like qualities that you actually like in a person and you're like, okay, cool. And like Bulma has like three of like a big one there for me. So I was just like, I've always liked Bulma. So, but it was definitely one of those things. I was like, bro, she's such a team player. She's such a team player. I really like Bulma.
Yeah. I can totally get the Bulma thing. She is awesome kind of all the way through. Because even when her motivation is that she wants a boyfriend, she is still somebody who completely takes control of what she's doing. She's like, I built a super radar, I'm a super genius, I have my gun and all my cool capsules, and I'm just going to go wish for one because I don't see one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make them.
True.
Because she can.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And then she takes the scariest man in the whole show. He's like, you are mine now. Deal with it. There he is.
Yep, Bulma's
There he is.
about that life, man. She's
The
about that.
Saiyan formerly known as Prince.
Oh man. So
So
Bro.
that's mine. That's mine.
that's awesome. For mine, I'm a little like ashamed to say because it's been so long since I've read through this series. I had to pull up the name to get it right because they're twins in this show, and I always mix them up. But I don't know if anybody ever watched D and Angel. Anybody else ever checked it out?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember it,
Yeah,
like partially.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
I was like such a nerd for D and Angel. The first girl I dated showed it to me. I fell in love with the series. I was like so into it. Like to the point where like when we told each other we liked each other, we literally did the gag from the show, where I said Daisuki because that's I like you in Japanese basically. But
Yeah.
Riku Harada,
Yeah.
the twin who Daisuke is not, Daisuke being the protagonist, is not initially in love with, was the like girl who I was always like, why don't you like her? Because like she's smart, she's completely independent. She was like the tough one, she was the sporty one, she's like very athletic. She was like I think it was one of those things like she was all the things that as like 14-year-old grossly overweight like bear was not, and I was like, that is awesome. And I just really liked her, and like I remember just like being so angry at Daisuke always for liking Risa, who is the other sister who is like the prim, clumsy, silly, girly girl one, and I was like, she sucks, she fails at everything, she just needs to be rescued, and it's a nuisance.
Nah, I'm with you. Her sister was a lot better.
So yeah, man, like that was like the first girl that I was like, oh man, like if I met this person in real life, I would probably like swoon a little for reals. Aaron, do you have one, or are you too cool because you didn't get into anime until we like forced it upon you in college?
Well, the thing is I feel like the idea of a waifu kind of rejects the idea of like meeting an actual person in real life, right? Like that's the whole concept is that you're
No, Sharif's gone! My overlay is destroyed.
Cuz died.
Taylor is
We've
now
got
split in half.
Oh my god.
It's very amusing to me. You are
I don't
literally
feel
split
so
in half.
good, Mr. Stark.
Oh, don't do that. Oh.
And now you guys have changed
Oh
places.
my god.
Oh, you're back.
I got it. I'm back.
Oh, that would
It
hurt.
just happened real quick.
Bro,
That was awkward.
he hit me with the I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
I don't feel
well.
good.
Sharif should just say
That
that at the
hurt.
beginning of every stream because he disappears at least once a stream.
You
I
do
just
be
get
dropping
Thanos.
that.
You know, I just get Thanos over here.
This is a complete sidetrack, and I'm sorry to go there, but I saw this post, I don't know where, of somebody explaining how Bugs Bunny would single-handedly defeat Thanos, and it's probably one of my favorite posts of all time.
Okay, you gotta share that in
I
the
mean,
Discord later.
I gotta find it first. All right, but
I
as far-
mean, Bugs Bunny will be pulling up some shit though.
basically the concept is that he would just show up as a TSA agent and tell Thanos he had to put his glove through the metal detector. and then when Thanos inevitably pushes back, Bugs Bunny will be like, "Wow, for shame. Do you not see the line behind you?" And Thanos would look behind him and just see a bunch of Bugs Bunnies dressed up as different people, like, you know, tapping their watches and stuff. It's a good post, and then somebody drew it. Like, and it was great. But like as far as like the waifu thing, like if I were to like pick a kind of character that I feel like I don't know that I might consider waifu, like I always liked Winry from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Winry
I think
is
it's-
solid.
I think it's because both they give her motivations that like operate outside of the protagonists, where you know her world doesn't revolve around him. Like it kind of does. Like she's always has like the only times we see her are usually when she has to fix him. But I can fix him, like literally. But like she has her own kind of personality and traits that you know make me think that I don't have to project my own idea of her onto like, because for like a character like Hinata, who like, yeah, like when I was younger, like feelings for sure, like, and obviously college is when I like got into Naruto, so like that was the first time seeing her. But like part of what waifu culture is like is the idea that you don't have to engage with a real person. Just, like that's what it is. Like I'm fantasizing about a person who does not and cannot exist, so they can't talk back to me. How dare they? But like you get to take all their best personality traits and imagine them and like push them onto this idea that you have for a waifu. And like I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I think that a lot of the discourse that surrounds waifu culture is about the toxic elements of it, which like I won't deny exist. Of course they exist. Like fandom culture is full of toxicity. But like I think that I don't like the idea of going after like otakus and like people who have like this idea of having a waifu as like some sort of like they're deviants and you know they're not, you know, conforming to the society as it is, and therefore they should be shunned and like called weird people for liking their fictional characters, because everybody likes fictional characters.
Aaron
we
is
all
a terrible
have something.
deviant without the waifus.
Yes, I was always a deviant. I didn't need a waifu. I didn't need waifus to be a deviant. But like, I have to read like, and this relates specifically to this.
Oh no, Aaron has an article.
Oh,
I have
here
an
we go.
Sharif, this is your fault. You did this.
This is literally the last paragraph of this article. It's from an entire book called Routledge Handbook of Sexuality Studies in East Asia. What a title. And there's a whole chapter called Otaku Sexuality in Japan.
It's got a very specific demographic that they were seeking for that book.
Very specific.
Yeah, it was me.
It was super niche anime podcast where one guy does a lot of research.
Yes. Really, listen, I love doing research. It's like my favorite part. It says, this is from the last paragraph. It says, in the case of otaku, the insistence on fictional girls from manga buriko to present is not necessarily a rejection of real women, but rather a desire for something else. Judith Halberstam writes that common sense is a form of hegemony or an interlocking system of ideas that produces norms and persuades people of their rightness. There is a common sense to gender roles and sexual orientations, which must be navigated to achieve quote-unquote success. As if speaking about the case of Japan, Halberton argues that success as a heteronormative capitalist society equates to easily to specific forms of reproductive maturity combined with wealth accumulation. So essentially what they're saying is like the reason that there was so much pushback on the idea of otakus and like what we can now call as waifu culture is just that it did not fit what the culture wanted it to fit. Like these people aren't going out and getting bullshit jobs for the rest of us. They're like sitting inside and like watching anime and enjoying their waifus. Like they're happy. Why is that a problem with you? Well, because they're not breeding, I guess. And actually, if I may, that's kind of I was thinking about this when we were talking about waifu culture, because a lot of it's blamed on waifu culture. But like Japan has been in like a birth rate crisis for like nearly a decade now. You know, everybody talks about it that's reporting on Japan. Like there are way more older people than there are like new age young people. Like men in their 30s and going into their 40s now are like virgins. Like they're not having sex. They're not seeking out sexual activities with women or women with men. Although it's usually focused on men because men have seem to have a larger problem there. And the problem is it gets blamed on otaku culture. It gets blamed on waifu culture. And like a lot of people have that same reaction. It's like, well, of course, they're just fantasizing about fictional girls. They'll never go out and get like a real one. But the reality is that people aren't going out and getting like into relationships because they're broke as fuck.
Yeah, there are external factors.
Scott can attest to this. I think even I can attest to this. When you are like not doing well financially or like getting you don't have like a steady job and you don't have like prospects, everything else kind of falls away. Like it sucks. It's hard out there. And like these Japanese men are feeling it because they're now in an age where like after the post-war boom, there was a huge recession, and now they're living in this like post-capitalist society, or like end capitalist society, where like there are no stable jobs. It's all like gig economy shit. And so like they don't have anything. They don't have prospects. How are you gonna ask a girl on a date when you can't even when you can't even get a job?
No, like literally, like I can empathize with that a lot. I mean, like look at like my current situation, right? For the last 2 years, like I had to leave like my job in New York, which I was making it in New York, not great, but I was like living there. I existed, and even then, like it was tough to meet people because you're always grinding and just trying to stay afloat. But being down here, like I was taking care of my mom and COVID hit, and like job prospects are tough, and like nobody wants to hear it. Like people always, Bo Burnham, the comedian, has a fantastic like song in his Make It Happy video about that. Like everybody wants that like idolization. They want that prospect, and you can't find it. And waifu and husbando culture is, I think, a way that a lot of people, not everybody who's into it, but a lot of people use to like cope, is that you, and I think it goes with even outside of waifus and husbandos, it's part of like why we pick our favorite characters, right? It's the people that like we relate to, or like would want to hang out with or be, and that's kind of what dictates a lot of, I know for me, like that little bit of escapism is why I choose a lot of my favorite shows and a lot of my favorite aspects.
Yeah, I would say that. I always think that waifu culture is a lot more similar to idol culture, because idol culture is all about creating a fictionalized persona that people can like grasp onto. It's a one-way relationship. It's a parasocial relationship, except in this case, the character on the other end isn't even real. Like you couldn't even like walk into them on the street. And I think now we're in an age where like it's not so much of a like, oh, look at that weirdo, because now there's profits to be made, baby. So like now otakus in anime culture has like, I feel like people are getting pushed to like, like waifu culture is now being like an established part of like selling merchandise. Yeah. You got your bodybuilders, you got your figurines, you got every little thing. If you wanted a waifu back in the day, you had to draw her from scratch. You have to draw her.
No, you found your friend that could draw, and you gave him $10 in a snack pack.
Yeah. And like that's actually, we talked about this in the episode about fan service, but that's kind of how otaku culture developed, was that a bunch of men got into shoujo animes, pushed all the female fans out. They're like, it's our space now. And the fan magazines and stuff that came about were like, it was basically they would like either sexualize or romanticize these shoujo characters, because it was like a different form. Like they didn't like the magazines that were catering to more realistic artistic interpretations of people. They wanted the cute version. It's called Bishoujo.
Bishonen?
Cute girl.
Yep.
Yeah, like well it's Bishoujo, so like cute girl.
Yep.
And that's like the concept that morphed into what otaku culture became, because then those people that were doing magazines and fan articles and stuff like that went on to be members of the industry. Like they're the ones developing the culture now. And so
and
like
then Clamp showed up and was like, no. Hold my beer.
By the way,
Clamp showed up.
By the way, there's an amazing part in this article which I did not expect. Hayao Miyazaki makes an appearance in this article. Which I was not expecting. So like apparently some of his early works, so the Castle of what is it called? Like, yeah, Castle of Cagliostro and something of Conan. What's the other one? It's one of his earlier works, like before he made it big. Like otakus were like fantasizing about the female characters in those movies. He's so pissed off about it because Hayao Miyazaki's a grumpy old man. He's like, I fucking hate when these fans talk about lolicon. Stop it.
Oh man, well we are a little over an hour, so we're gonna start bringing it into our final thoughts. So my one question for you guys before we go into your final thoughts is, who is best girl and why is it Bone Clay from One Piece?
What? No, we already know it's Hinata. We can't invite a guest on here.
Oh, do you not watch One Piece?
Okay, let me tell you something about me and One Piece.
Here we go. Here we go.
What have I done something wrong? Should I not have done this?
No. I have no like issue with One Piece. I don't want to watch it because for me, a long running show that has a goal doesn't need to be 900 episodes.
In 1,000 plus chapters.
I will be honest.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like at some point, it's like find the damn treasure,
so
I can move on with life.
As somebody who loves One Piece, I would never recommend anybody watch it. I always say read it, because you can go at your own pace. You can read as fast as you want. I think it's more consistent and just a better quality experience to read the manga. Also, you can read the whole thing for $2 on Shonen Jump.
Yep, sure can. You sure can.
But Bon Clay is an Okama from that show. He is somebody who's kind of like sexually like fluid and gender fluid. But he's a fantastic character, and I just love him. In my heart, he is best girl.
I'd like to. I want to open the floor to Taylor a little bit about like, so like, how do you like we've talked a little bit about like your waifu Sonata, and like what is the kind of, I guess, like, how would you engage with the culture? So like we've talked about what the culture is, but like how do you engage with the culture personally?
Like me, like with like other people's waifus? Oh no, like let me explain this off top. I have a lot of waifus.
This guy's got a full harem going on.
You don't have any
like,
proof of that, Taylor.
Like, he does.
I've got like tons of waifus. Now Hinata's at the top. She's like on the throne, way up in the clouds and space, in her own little utopia. and to be honest, no one has come close to her space. But like how I usually interact with people like through like waifu culture is basically, you know, ask them, you know, like, who's your waifu? And depending on their answer, just depends on my anger. It's not that. Like, here's the thing: if I ask somebody like, who's your waifu, and they say Hinata, high five. If I ask somebody who's their waifu, and they say, for instance, like
soccer.
I was gonna say the one I never get is Hatsune Miku, because she has no personality as far as I know. It's just a program that sings.
She's cute though.
She is cute. Blue twin tails.
Like the thing about like waifu is you can like a waifu for like whatever reason. Like for instance, like this is my waifu. Like this is not my waifu. This is one of my waifus. Her name is Skumi, and she's from like the anime like Sekiro, right? And the reason I love her more than I love anybody else in that show is, one, she dresses fabulously, and two, she talks like she's from like the 14th century France, and it's fantastic. It's utterly fantastic.
Do you feel like waifu, like your engagement with waifu culture like interferes with anything outside of your like enjoyment of anime? Like to like with just and that's the thing. I don't think I think a lot of people feels like it's like, oh, this is just some all-consuming like hobby, and you like won't interact with real people. But I think a lot of people do. In fact, like doing research for this, I found a lot of articles where people were like, yeah, my wife knows about my waifu, like their actual wife in real life. Yeah, I know about my wife.
like
doesn't get in the way.
I've always said, like, I know I'm never gonna marry Hinata. It's not a thing. So why even, you know, entertain that thought in my head? But I still love her. I love her to death. And I've always said this: if I'm ever at a con and I find someone who can cosplay Hinata perfectly.
Oh, here we go with this. Here we go with this again. Here we go.
I'm getting on a knee. I'm getting on one knee.
Oh no.
And
Taylor has a custom-made rig. He carries it everywhere. It's never far.
So it's always close. You always want to be prepared. But no, I would ask her out on a date. But at first I'd be like, "Yo, Hinata's my favorite. You're perfect right now." No lie, I kind of want to take you out on a date right now. that would probably be it. But but like having a waifu doesn't like make me not want to go out and talk to actual girls because I'll never find a Hinata. It's like no, like you go out and you talk to a girl. You see if you two are compatible, how she makes you feel, how you make her feel. If y'all come together like this and not like this, because a lot of people do this just because, and they need to be do that.
Yeah.
But having a waifu doesn't like make you like not want to interact with real people,
Right?
I guess.
Yeah, I would say that like that is
It's like
the most extreme case of anything, right? Like, and that's like I think any hobby or thing you like can end up going to an extreme and become a negative. But that's just because as people we can become very addicted to something, and when stuff gets tough, you can often find yourself falling into the hole that makes you most comfortable. And I think waifus is just one of those things where because it's a stigma that's stuck after anime started to normalize, right? Because like anime got popular like mainstream like 2010 2012, that's around when Attack on Titan became part of the zeitgeist.
I'd say it got a lot more mainstream like when the big three showed up, like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
I feel like
that's
those
where it
were
started like on the uptick, and then like Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan made it like
when they hit Netflix and stuff, like that's when it was done.
I was gonna say, like, we got to do that episode on Attack on Titan because that show, despite like what you may feel about it, is just so important to the cultural zeitgeist of anime.
I am trying to psych myself up to like binge through Attack on Titan so I can do like a breakdown spoiler cast of that series with you guys, but it is not this day.
I'm telling you, it's just you just watch on YouTube all the Levi fights.
I do think Mikasa is dope, by the way. Like
Mikasa is dope. Like she would be a cool waifu. Like Mikasa is cool as shit. Even though now I'm just like learning through minor manga or
don't
anime
spoil me, Aaron. I'll kill you.
Minor spoilers. It's dumb. She is literally predisposed to want to protect Eren. It's a weird element of the anime.
I don't want to hear this. Anyway, guys, we're getting ready to wrap up the show. Does anybody have any final thoughts?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, Taylor, take it away.
You love whoever you love. Oh, go ahead.
Sharif, I'm ignoring you.
Love whoever you love. My question for you guys, because I just thought of like this really funny like a tweet that I saw. It was like a meme, and it was it was entitled like it said, "Your attraction to toxic women started when you chose Shigo over Kim Possible." And in my heart of hearts, I was like, I'll fucking do it again. Like over and over.
Did you also have that moment when you were like, no, it's when I chose Jesse over Misty?
Jesse, you can't even say Jesse's toxic. Jesse is just a giant goofball. She's so stupid. Team Rocket is as a whole.
As I've rewatched through most of the
they're so entertaining that you can't help but love them. Mm-hmm. But my question is, do you think that having like an evil waifu is a bad thing?
An evil waifu?
Oh man, that's tough.
Because I have several, and I'm not gonna lie, they hit me different. Sometimes they hit me like, I don't know if y'all know who S-Death is, but she hit me different.
I do not.
No.
She's from this anime called The Kami Ga Kill.
Oh, that's her. Yeah, she's a bitch.
We're in the episode. Just in the episode.
I mean, like, I know a lot of people are into what's her name for My Hero, the blood Toga. Yeah, like I see. Toga has taken the internet. She is the ultimate evil waifu. Like, if we're talking evil waifus, we're talking Toga. Like
I mean, she is right now.
She's just an insane, like, scary girl who's like will be super into you. Basically, she encapsulates the overly attached girlfriend meme of like the 2000s. You guys remember that?
Really hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You remember that meme though, right?
Yes.
The girl,
Yeah.
crazy girlfriend.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she's
do.
that. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't think it makes you a bad person because you're doing the same thing you are with the good characters. You're like, well, this girl's gonna be super into me if she's my waifu. Like she'll do everything for me.
She wants to drain your blood out.
She wants that deck. She wants to drain Deku. That's what she wants. She wants to drain Deku.
There's a lot of things.
You telling me you're not gonna get drained by Toga?
I would not get drained by Toga. No, I would not get drained by Toga.
Well, I'm trying to get drained.
Now, if you asking me, would I rather have a little weekend with Midnight than
Oh yeah, for sure. But she's not bad. She's just into whips and chains. You know what it actually reminds me of? It reminds me of the meme that's going on right now with Big Vampire Lady from the new Resident Evil game.
Oh God, her.
Dude, that hit the internet with them. They knew what they were doing. That hit the internet, and like every waifu guy was like, "Wait,
she's 9 feet tall, man."
Yes, giantess lady.
No lie, she's the only reason that I want to play that game. I have not played a single Resident Evil game before in my entire life, but I kind of want to play this one.
The internet has this is the evolution of waifu culture. Is that video games are now understanding it, and they're weaponizing it to sell you video games. Giant vampire ladies.
Oh my God,
it's working.
It's working.
It's working. It really is.
Can we all agree? Everybody here wants the new Resident Evil game.
Yeah, no, Capcom knows what they're doing. I mean, like in Monster Hunter Rise, we have Shrine Maiden twin waifus for the handlers for all your missions now, as opposed to like just a generic random character that they used to be. So Capcom is on his waifu game right now. That is truth facts.
Capcom been throwing out waifus.
I mean, they always have, but like now I feel like they're like they have like tactical waifu strikes.
They know it. They're like they got like a waifu team. They're like, hey, quick, we need the new games aren't selling as well. We need a new waifu.
They're like sitting on top of their corporate building with like binoculars and like just looking. It's like where can we strike next?
Look at them go.
Yeah, look at these fools. Yeah, there's just a small team of like very skinny like little men like in like a basement somewhere. Like draw me a new waifu.
See, I keep imagining like the guy in Call of Duty who calls in the AC-130. Which is like
he new waifus.
Just like bring the waifu, bring the thunder.
It's the new. It's. I keep referring to memes today, but it's like the only thing I've got going. It's just the new waifu just dropped. It's like new.
New waifu. Who dis?
They're starting to run. They're starting to run the world, man.
Oh man, but
everybody will have a virtual waifu.
I think we got to start wrapping it up for real this time.
I'd be so happy.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
That might be the end of civilization. Like that might do it for us.
They have those though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they have, there are people that you can now hire to make your like you a like fully functional like VTuber or like 3D game character and stuff. Like there's a lot of that right now. It's
I was gonna say we didn't even touch on some of the like newer stuff of like VTubers.
I was talking about the little.
Waifu Part 2.
Oh, the
like
hologram.
Yeah, like the little hologram that it wakes you up and it's like your daily planner.
I haven't seen this and I need
cute little waifu.
It's literally Cortana. Like they finally made it.
Commercial's
Cortana.
Amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need somebody to send me this as soon as we're done.
It's like a waifu Alexa. Fantastic.
We're never gonna see Bear again after this. Taylor, do you want to join the show so we can have like an official?
It's just I leave.
No, say words. I would love to join the show if y'all would let me.
Dude, I am so down with that, and it's not just because I like the 4-panel structure better.
It's because he likes the 4-panel structure.
It's all because of the 4 panels.
As soon as Sharif sent it to me, I immediately went looking for the Death the Kid memes. I was like, I need them.
It's
But the
like-
thing is,
it's like-
he likes you too, though. See, if he didn't like the 4-panel structure, he would just kick me off, and then you would join as a official member, which would be fine because I'm like, I don't know anything about anime. I know nothing about nothing. That's why I gotta like do piles of research.
Aaron is the check to our balances. Like that's how I would keep him around. But anyway, guys,
He's
I'm
like-
the
he's like,
horny
Taylor's
police.
all
I'm the horny
Like-
police. I'm like, you're back in line.
we're gonna get
I
out of
ignore
here. In case you didn't know, of course, I'm Bear, joined by Aaron, the Shooting Star Sheriff, and Taylor from TaylorMadeOtaku. Taylor, where can everybody find you out there on the internet? I know you're a whole bunch of places.
Well, you can find me mainly on YouTube at TaylorMadeOtaku. I make terrible videos dealing with anime. Right now, I'm playing Honey Pop 2 Double Date. Shouts out to you, cuz, for getting me that game. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. But you can also find me on Twitter. I'm starting to tweet a lot more. My Instagram is dead. I haven't been on that thing in like a good 9 months. So don't go there. I might go there, but don't go there. And I'm also here on Twitch, but I've only streamed once in like 3 years, so don't get
That's
don't
all
get
right.
too used to that.
Oh man, and of course you can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/RomanBearStreams. You can find us on YouTube at Roman Bear Plays also. We're over there. That's that because it's on the other channel. And you can find us wherever podcasts are sold or on Twitter at Super Otaku Show 1. There's not a Super Otaku Show as far as I can tell, so I still don't know where the 1 came from, but
Somebody stole it.
I'm gonna leave it. Anyway, guys, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. Thank you again, Taylor, for being on. And hell, you might be back forever. We'll see you next week on Super Otaku Show.
Are we out? Can I stop doing this?